So the Real Word is a very special program here at Voices for Children, where young adults with lived experience in the foster care system courageously and generously share with us about what those experiences were like. And so tonight we have three very special panelists who we are so grateful have chosen to share a little bit about their stories with us.
Was there anything, when you think back to your time in care and placements that you had, was there anything or anyone that specifically instilled a sense of belonging? Like how did they help you feel like you belonged?
Oh gosh. I was a rebellious child. I caused chaos and havoc almost everywhere I went. But I was frustrated at the world. And I didn't understand why staff were telling me to brush my teeth, why they told me to make my bed, why they were telling me to get ready for school in the morning. I didn't have that sense of belonging or that sense of understanding I existed until Tim came along, really. And our relationship, I wouldn't say started off rocky. I have every foster youth has this wall that they put up with everybody, and everyone is set on the same playing ground to try to knock it down. And he was the only one who was consistent, resilient, and had the desire to want to get to know me. Mm. And so that's what helped build our relationship, was that he didn't give up on me. Even at times when I gave up on myself, he was still there. He was strong. He was passionate.
My CASA, Kevin, I met him around the age, I was 11, I think I was turning 12. Kevin, he took me to band practice every week. Like, Josh was saying, with his CASA, he introduced me to all kinds of foods. There's all kinds of music that I would have not ever knew existed if it weren't for this man. I think it's in the name CASA. CASA means home. He made me feel at home.
When you first get your CASA, you're really skeptical. You're kind of like, I don't know who this guy is, and they're coming in and they're being super nice. My brother, he took the bait right away. He loved art from the beginning. But a CASA, what it was, like him coming into our lives, he was the person that really nurtured, security for Sean and I. I had this desire to play the saxophone when I was younger. And I remember we're in the car with Art, a sedan, and I was telling him about the school we're in. And I was like, oh, Art, like they have like instruments and stuff that you can play. And he was like, oh yeah. Like he's talking about like his family and how his father had played the sax and all these cool things. And I was like, oh, no way. I was like, I want to play the sax. And it wasn't a couple weeks later that Art came to the school, and he opened up this case. It was a black case, and inside of it was an engraved silver saxophone that was from his family. But man, it was so impactful. And his impact started way before the saxophone. It started with him just taking us and saying, hey, we're gonna go to McDonald's and you guys can play on the slides. I remember Art literally yelling up the side, come on, it's time to get down. Come on, guys, it's time to go. And I'm like, Art, just 10 more minutes, Art. And he's like, all right, 10 more minutes. That's a CASA.
I said maybe 2 words to him. He's like, hi, Tim. I probably said something of the lines like, okay, cool. And then went upstairs into my room and sat there. I think I call him out about an hour later, and he's sitting there, he's talking with the staff. He's got all the other foster kids in the group home talking to him. Everybody's having a ball. And I'm like, who the heck is this guy? I'm like, what are you doing? Okay. I'm like, this guy gets unfazed. Okay. All right. I have no problem giving you a shot. But it took a while for me to really get my wall to come down. Because every foster youth is going to understand this line. We are so used to inconsistency, it's consistent. Everything is so inconsistent that it just feels normal. He makes the trip from San Diego all the way to Connecticut to see how I'm doing and build that relationship with, those who I call family out here. And not even my own family does that. It's just refreshing.
I just wanted to make music, play music, and build computers. And that's exactly what Kevin cultivated for me. He, like I mentioned earlier, I played in several bands as a teenager, and he took me to band practice every Wednesday, was at most of the shows that I had. Even my first guitar, actually, voices helped me obtain. So he really pushed me into what I liked doing. And to this day, I'm still doing those exact things.
I love that your CASA supported you in learning how to dream. And I think that has a lot to do with it. They're not going to make everything happen for you, but just knowing that they gave you that space to believe in yourself.
Yeah,
and
they supported.
Yeah, and your dreams. That's absolutely incredible.
I think that we can all probably agree on, all three of us, is that they were all incredibly present. They listened, and that's how they give guidance. They listen, and that's how they give love. They listen, and that's how they give assurance. What makes you feel loved? What makes you feel accepted? Someone who's listening. Someone who's there with you in the moment. When you're sad, they could feel it. When you're happy, they're happy with you. When you're excited about an accomplishment, they champion you through it.
So during the end of my journey with foster care, there were some challenges that I was facing, and Kevin, he was by my side during those challenges, and we made it through the challenges that I was having, and I was able to regroup and reevaluate. And then one day we were talking, and he goes, "All right, Joseph, you don't need me anymore." I was like, "What? You mean I don't need you anymore? Like, you've been here every week for the last 7 or 8 years, dude. What are you talking about?" That was his way of saying, "You can handle yourself. I'll always be here, but you can handle yourself. My job is done." It's been a long time since I've known this man. He's, I think, the longest person I've known in my life, actually. I'm seeing there are some CASAs in the comments. Keep doing what you are doing. You are an anomaly to a lot of youth. You're different. You're showing them that they matter.
I can say, being a CASA in the past, and I think other CASAs would agree with me, that getting to be a part of the journey is a true honor that I did not take lightly, and I don't think any CASAs take lightly, because it is a joy and a privilege to get to walk alongside another human and watch them grow and develop and become the amazing adult that they're going to be. So I know that your CASAs probably feel that way as well.